Hello, dear Aries. If you've been feeling that something inside you is about to change, as if life itself has been quietly preparing you for a turning point, then this is the message the universe has written just for you. October 2025 is not coming to test you anymore. It's coming to answer everything you've believed in, everything you've waited for, everything your soul has been silently building toward. A powerful doorway of energy is opening, and a 20-year cycle of luck and prosperity is waiting for you to step through. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and listen slowly, because what you're about to hear may let you see your own future in a completely new light. Aries, be still for a moment. Listen to the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Something is moving deep inside you, a current of energy that feels strange yet familiar. Warm, powerful, as if it's calling back a part of you that's been asleep for a very long time. It isn't the sound of the wind nor the noise of the world. It's the whisper of the universe, softly telling you your time has come. October 2025 is not an ordinary month. It is the line between the old and the new, between exhaustion and rebirth, between what you once dreamed of and what you are finally about to touch. Long ago, Baba Vanga spoke of moments when the door of destiny opens, but only for a few chosen souls. And this time, Aries, among those souls, is you, the pioneer, the one who has fallen but always stood up again, the one who's been misunderstood yet never stopped believing in themselves. You are standing before a radiant gateway, a place where every effort, every tear, every silent prayer you've ever sent out is finally being heard. This door isn't made of gold or silver. It's made of light, the light of karma, of resilience, of unwavering faith. And as you walk closer, you'll realize something profound. Luck was never random. It is the reward for your persistence. Buddhist wisdom says, blessings only bloom when the causes have ripened. Every drop of sweat, every pain you've endured, every heartbreak you've survived, they've all become seeds, ready to blossom into the greatest harvest of your life. The universe never forgets those who keep kindness alive through their storms. And now, that good karma is blooming in the light of this October. Close your eyes for a moment. Behind you are the weary years, the trials that made you question if you could go on. Before you lies 2 decades of light, a path where every step is supported and every dream finally finds soil to grow. This is not mere fortune. It's a confirmation that you've walked through everything you needed to become the one who's worthy of what's coming next. Understand this deeply. Luck is not a prize for the strong. It's the companion of those who kept their faith alive. And that faith, Aries, you've carried it for years through the darkest nights. You've prayed in silence when no one could hear. You've comforted yourself when no one was there to do it for you. Those moments, those quiet victories were your sacred vows with the universe, that when the light returns, you would be ready to step through it. October 2025 won't arrive like a storm. It will arrive like a sunrise, gentle, golden, and undeniable. A morning when you wake up feeling lighter, your heart warmer, your trust deeper. A moment when you'll look back and finally understand. So that's why I had to go through all of it to stand here strong and open. Look around you. You'll begin to see the signs of this gateway opening. New people entering your life, opportunities that feel like fate, emotions you can't quite explain. They're not coincidences. They are invitations, whispers from the universe, urging you to step into the next chapter of your journey. A chapter where the light doesn't just guide you, but shines through you, healing others along the way. And as you listen to these words, let your heart answer quietly, I am ready. Because only when you truly believe that this door is real, will it open for you. So pause, breathe deeply. Feel the warmth in your palms, the steady beat in your chest. A new journey is calling your name. And as the light expands, as the sacred echo of that cosmic gate grows clearer, you'll realize that what's coming isn't just luck, it's destiny. And from within that light, a tender question rises in your soul. Why, among millions of souls, did the universe choose you? There are moments in life when we find ourselves standing between two worlds, one fading into memory, and the other shimmering just ahead, new, brighter, deeper, as if light itself is gently touching your soul. Aries, this is that moment for you, a threshold that only a few have the courage to cross. And you, the pioneer of the zodiac, were born to do exactly that. You've always been the one to go first. From the moment you arrived on this earth, your soul carried the first flame, a spark so alive that even the smallest cosmic wind could ignite it into power. While others hesitated, you moved forward. You accepted the falls, the mistakes, the pain. And because of that, you've gone farther than most ever will. You are living proof that every beginning is sacred, even when it's written through pain. There's an old saying, within courage you gather virtue, within patience you plant wisdom. And that, Aries, is what the universe has always seen in you, not physical strength, but the spiritual power of one who rises after defeat, smiles after heartbreak, and still loves even after being hurt. In astrology, October 2025 marks a rare alignment. Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion, meets Saturn, the planet of karma, discipline, and long-earned results. Two opposite energies, merging into what mystics call a golden gate. A door that only opens for those whose hearts and spirits have been tempered by time. And within that celestial map, your name shines brightly, not because you're perfect, but because you refuse to give up. Among millions of souls, only those who walked through fire and still carried light in their eyes are chosen for this blessing. The universe hasn't been testing you, it's been refining you, like a rough gem that must face 1,000 degrees of heat before it shines. You've known loss. You've stood in the valley of doubt. You've wondered why your efforts went unseen, why your rewards never came. But now, when you look back, you'll understand. Every fall was part of the path. The universe needed you to become stronger, wiser, and clearer, so your light could travel farther. And that, Aries, is why you were chosen. Imagine this. If life is a mountain, you are not only climbing it, you're carving the trail for others to follow. Every scar, every lesson, every tear has become a map for the souls that will one day walk behind you. You're not just living for yourself, you're living as a beacon for those who see hope in your fire. That is your mission as an Aries, the mission of the first flame. Now, as Jupiter and Saturn cross paths in the sky of October, it's the sacred sign that your journey is about to be rewarded. Everything you've planted, your kindness, your effort, your persistence, is beginning to bloom. The invisible walls that once held you back are fading, and ahead of you lies a road that feels open, bright, and calm, like a stream finding its way back to the ocean. Aries, the universe never forgets the souls who walk through darkness and still choose faith. You were never being punished, you were being prepared. Every storm in your life came to teach you how to fly through the wind, and when you learn to fly, you no longer fear the storm, you become the wind itself. Take a moment now, breathe deeply, and let your heart whisper, "I am ready," because readiness is the first door to fortune. The universe only needs that one declaration, and energy begins to move. So listen closely. In your breath, in the pause between two heartbeats, something is being rewritten, the story of 20 years of prosperity, born from a single truth, that you finally believe. You are worthy, and when that belief rises, you'll start to feel the miracle unfold in every corner of your life, where the meaning of prosperity is not just found in wealth, but in every breath, every glance, every act of kindness you offer to the world. Prosperity doesn't always come in the form of gold, silver, or numbers on a bank screen. It comes in the first breath of morning, when you open your eyes and realize your heart is beating in peace. It comes when you do what you love, not out of fear, but because you find meaning in the smallest of things. And it comes when you can meet someone's eyes, say nothing, simply smile, and know deep down that you are truly alive. The 20 years of prosperity the universe is opening for you, Aries, are not about material wealth. They're about harmony between your outer world and your inner one, a time when everything begins to flow in rhythm. When your mind is calm, your path clears. When your heart is still, life opens like a lotus in sunlight. You no longer struggle or run, you simply move in the natural rhythm of grace itself. Imagine your life as a garden. All these years, you've planted seeds with sweat and tears, with faith and perseverance. October 2025 is like the first rain of a new season, not creating new seeds, but awakening the ones you've already planted. From the roots beneath the soil, new shoots will rise, carrying new life, new chances, and joys you thought were long forgotten. Your finances will begin to bloom. Doors that once felt sealed will quietly swing open, as if they were never closed at all. Ideas you left behind will return, but this time they'll be nourished by confidence and the support of others. You'll find yourself working not from fear of scarcity, but from the desire to create, to contribute. And from that pure intention, money and opportunities will flow to you naturally, like rivers returning to the sea. Your health will shift too. When your heart stops fighting itself, your body begins to heal. The weariness that once clung to you will start to lift. The quiet aches of the past will soften. In their place, you'll feel new energy, a vitality that makes you feel young again. You may walk slower, but you'll feel deeper. Every breath will feel meaningful, and within each one, you'll find gratitude simply for being alive. And then, something beautiful happens in your relationships. People who once left may return, not to test you, but to complete a sacred circle. Old misunderstandings will fade like morning mist. You'll see the beauty in forgiveness, in letting go of old expectations, so love can feel lighter, purer, truer. True prosperity isn't about how much you have. It's about how much you can give without fear of losing. When an Aries rises, they don't rise alone. Their light spreads like fire, warming the souls that have gone cold. People see you, they feel your strength, and in your courage they rediscover their own. That's why your success is not a private victory. It's a quiet healing that ripples through the world. You'll realize that these next 20 years aren't just time, they're a journey. A sacred path where you learn to live with an open heart, open hands, and eyes full of gratitude, where every joy and every sorrow becomes part of the current shaping you into wholeness. So if you're hearing this right now, take a moment, ask yourself, what do you truly wish for in the next 20 years? Love, abundance, peace within. Sometimes simply asking the question is enough to open a new door. And when you listen for that small, quiet answer in your heart, follow it. Because once you start walking with your heart, the universe will arrange the rest. And perhaps somewhere along that path, you'll discover the greatest fortune of all was never in the destination, but in the person you were becoming all along. Before dawn breaks, the sky is always at its darkest. And before a lotus blooms in the light, it must rise through the deepest mud. Aries, your life has been the same. The challenges you faced were never meant to extinguish the fire in your heart, but to forge it into a light that can never be put out. Buddhist wisdom says, before the lotus blooms, it must grow through mud. And no one embodies that truth more than you, Aries. You are the symbol of life itself, of courage, of beginnings. But you are also a soul that has fallen again and again. Every wound, every stumble, has carried within it a sacred lesson. And the universe, in its mysterious compassion, has used those lessons to prepare you for something far greater. There are 5 trials you must walk through before stepping into your 20 years of blessings. The first is fear and self-doubt. You've looked in the mirror and asked, am I enough, strong enough, worthy enough? That question, small as it seems, has been your biggest invisible wall. The universe is showing you that faith doesn't come from outside validation. It's born from self-understanding. When you face your fear, you transform it into an ally. The second trial is impatience. As a fire sign, you want everything now. You want to see results, proof, movement. But sometimes the greatest miracles need time to take root. Remember, the bamboo spends 5 years growing its roots underground, and only a few months to rise taller than a house. The universe is teaching you to trust divine timing. The third trial is anger and impulsiveness. That fire within you, when guided, becomes power. But when left unchecked, it can burn the very things you love. So the universe will place you in moments that ask you to pause before reacting. To remember that true strength isn't about winning, it's about understanding. The fourth trial is attachment to the past. You carry memories, wounds, faces that once brought both love and pain. But the past is no longer home. It's just a road you've already walked. To enter this new era of light, you must let go of what weighs too heavy. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And finally, the fifth, the most delicate and profound, is the balance between the material and the spiritual. The next 20 years may bring wealth, recognition, tangible success. But if you lose your soul along the way, all of it will feel hollow. True abundance isn't stored in vaults, it lives in your capacity to share. When you are grateful, when you give, your energy becomes a magnet for even greater blessings. Aries, don't fear these trials. They weren't sent to weaken you, they came to awaken a strength you haven't even met within yourself yet. The universe never sends a test you cannot pass. Each hardship is only a layer wrapping the gift inside. Every pain is a teacher. Every delay is divine timing. Every goodbye is a gentle act of protection from the universe. What you thought was loss was often liberation, so you could go farther, rise higher, and live truer to your purpose. If you're hearing these words now, take just 1 minute, only one, and write down what you're ready to release. It might be a memory, a fear, a person, or a thought that's kept you small. Write it, and let the wind carry it away. Because when the heart is light, blessings always find their way. And when you let go of the old, something new begins to sprout quietly, gently, like a drop of morning dew resting on a lotus petal. No noise, no show, just a sacred stillness. The moment you realize that your challenges never took anything from you, they simply cleared the path for you to return home, to yourself. In that stillness, you'll feel something opening softly, like an invisible doorway to a realm of light, where the limits you once believed in no longer exist. A place of illumination where you not only see yourself again, but also finally see what you've been searching for all along. There are moments in life that don't arrive with sound or image, but with a feeling that words can't quite capture. Moments when your heart suddenly softens, the world slows down around you, and you realize you're truly alive. Not living to chase, to achieve, to prove, just living. That is when awakening begins. And for you, Aries, this is the greatest gift the universe is preparing to give. After years of running after things outside yourself, success, money, relationships, recognition, you're now entering a stage of realization that all those things are temporary. The only lasting treasure is inner peace. True luck begins the moment you stop searching outward and start looking inward. When you realize that safety doesn't come from control, it comes from trust, trusting yourself, trusting the journey, trusting that everything happening is shaping the growth of your soul. Aries awakening doesn't arrive with noise or thunder. It comes in stillness, in the quiet pause between two breaths. One day, you'll look up at the sky and see 111, 222, or maybe even 2025, and your heart will flutter, as if something is whispering, you're on the right path. You may start dreaming unusual dreams, standing in radiant light, seeing a door opening, meeting someone long gone. Don't dismiss them as coincidence. Those dreams are not imagination, they are the language of your soul. When your soul is ready, it finds every way to speak, through numbers, through wind, through a song that finds you at the right time, or through the gaze of someone who feels strangely familiar, as if from another lifetime. Buddhism says it simply: when the heart is at peace, blessings naturally come. And soon you'll understand this not just in theory, but in truth. When you stop resisting the current of life, everything begins to fall into its rightful place. Money, opportunities, love, they all appear, but without the heaviness of struggle. They arrive like breath, gentle, effortless, on time. In that stillness, you'll realize prosperity doesn't live in your wallet, it blooms in your soul. Every time you find peace in chaos, love in pain, gratitude in loss, you open a new door. A door that leads to a kind of luck no one can take from you, because it has already become part of who you are. This awakening isn't just for you. When one soul awakens, their light illuminates the path for many. When you begin to live more truthfully, those around you feel it. They sense hope, that even in a chaotic world one can still live gently, meaningfully. When you awaken, you become a mirror of hope, and that, Aries, is the highest form of abundance. So don't overlook the small signs around you. A sudden intuition, a meeting that feels meant to be, a morning when sunlight seems to carry a different color. They are all messages, gentle reminders from the universe that you've crossed the old threshold and are now entering a deeper layer of consciousness. Take a quiet moment, breathe deeply, feel your heartbeat. That is the pulse of life itself, the voice of your soul returning home. If you've seen those numbers, had those vivid dreams, felt a mysterious warmth in still moments, share your story. Because maybe your story will light the way for someone who's lost, someone who only needs one small spark to find themselves again. And when the light of your heart begins to shine outward, touching the world around you, you'll realize something profound, that luck and awakening have never been separate. They are two sides of the same truth, a whisper from the universe, soft as breath, calling you into the next realm of light, where prosperity is no longer yours alone, but becomes the gift you give back to life itself. Some souls come into this life not only to find happiness for themselves, but to become the light that helps others find their way. And Aries, in this 20-year cycle of prosperity that's about to begin, you are one of those souls. Everything you do, every word, every breath, every spark of energy you release carries power. As Buddhist wisdom says, when one lamp is lit, it can ignite 1,000 others. And nowhere is that truth more radiant than in your story. The light you're awakening within yourself, the light of courage, compassion, and awakening doesn't stop with you. It touches hearts, quietly, invisibly, day by day. You may not realize it, but someone is watching you right now, finding strength in your example, finding hope in the way you keep going. When you rise through hardship, you silently teach the world that no night lasts forever. When you choose love over bitterness, you plant a seed of goodness in the collective soul. And when you forgive, you free not only yourself, but also the hearts still trapped in their own pasts. Your blessings, Aries, are not just material rewards or visible success. They live in your healing energy, the kind that makes people feel safe just by being near you. You're the kind of soul who can walk into a room and say nothing. Yet somehow the air grows lighter, warmer, filled with quiet hope. That's something only those who have walked through fire can carry. Think of your loved ones, the ones who may be lost, afraid, or tired. When your energy transforms, they feel it too. Just like when spring arrives and the ice melts without command. Your prosperity won't only show in your bank account. It will appear in the smiles returning to weary faces, in relationships finding healing, in your home filling again with laughter and peace. That is the ripple effect of grace. It doesn't need to shout or perform. It moves softly through how you live, how you love, how you choose peace. When you smile, someone feels lighter. When you stand tall, someone finds faith again. When you speak kindly, someone remembers that humanity still has goodness. In this chaotic world, your calmness is a rare gift, one the world deeply needs. Because the world isn't healed by grand speeches or power, but by small hearts that still choose love. And Aries, you are one of those hearts, chosen not just to prosper for yourself, but to awaken others through your own light. Remember this, your energy is your loudest prayer to the universe. When you live in gratitude, the universe answers with abundance. When you share faith, it sends opportunity. When you radiate love, it opens the way. So if, in this very moment, someone's face just came to your mind, someone who needs to hear this, know that it's not random. That's the universe whispering for you to be a messenger of light. Share this message with them, not just because they need it, but because every time you spread light, the light within you grows stronger. Life follows a simple law. Light creates more light, and kindness creates more kindness. When you become the giver of light, you don't just change the world, you illuminate yourself. Because once you realize that blessings are not meant to be kept, but to be shared, you'll understand the true mission of these 20 years of prosperity. Not only to receive, but to carry blessings farther, wider and deeper. And as you continue walking this path, quietly, faithfully, with purpose, you'll witness a miracle. The light you give today will return tomorrow multiplied, like stars scattered across the night sky. And in that still, sacred moment, you'll understand you were never walking alone. You were leading countless souls, each learning in their own way how to believe again in the light within themselves. October 2025. It isn't just a date on the calendar. It's a sacred appointment between you and destiny, between your soul and the universe. It's the moment when every effort, every heartbreak, every quiet prayer and act of faith you've ever offered comes together to bloom. And today, as you hear these words, feel it, the energy of that moment is already moving around you, gentle but powerful, like a river finally finding its way home to the sea. Aries, you've endured enough years of challenge, enough winters of the heart, and now the universe wants you to know not a single tear was wasted, not a single effort forgotten. Each time you chose to rise, to trust again, to love again, you are building the very energy that opens this door, the door to your 20-year cycle of light, a time when everything you've prayed for will find its way back to you, softly, gracefully, in its own divine rhythm. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, feel your heartbeat. That rhythm isn't just life, it's your soul answering the universe's call. Now imagine a golden light surrounding you, warm, compassionate, radiant. That light is a blessing, an energy that has been waiting so long for this very moment to touch you. And now, I invite you to take part in a small ritual, one that holds the power to shift your destiny. Write in the comments or whisper to your heart, I am ready to receive 20 years of luck and prosperity. Because when you speak it, you're not just forming words, you're setting your energy in motion. That declaration is a key, a bridge between your soul and the universe. A simple sentence, yet it can realign the entire flow of your future. In this world, what you affirm with your heart becomes your reality. Remember this, luck is never random, it's the reflection of gratitude. When you give thanks for what you already have, you send a signal to the universe, I am ready for more. The seed of luck only blooms in the soil of a grateful heart, where there's no comparison, no resentment, only trust that everything unfolds for a reason. And if at any point on this path you felt alone, know this, you were never walking by yourself. There are millions of Aries souls out there, listening, awakening, stepping with you into this age of light. Together we are lighting up the sky, not with noise, but with peace and compassion. Because true light doesn't fight to be seen, it simply is. These next 20 years will be filled with faith and prosperity, purpose and kindness. You'll see signs, 111, 222, or even 2025, appearing like cosmic reminders that you're right where you need to be. You'll meet people, hear words, see images that confirm everything is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Aries, you don't need to chase anymore. Just open your heart, relax your shoulders, and let life carry you. You're no longer in a battle, you're in a revelation. Let the light flow through you, beyond you, and into the hearts of those still searching for hope. And before we close this journey, I want to say this from the deepest part of my being. Thank you for being here, beautiful soul. Thank you for choosing to believe, to listen, to keep walking even when the path was dim. Because of you, this world is a little brighter, a little softer, and far more human. May your road ahead be filled with peace. May your hands be full of blessings so that everything you touch turns to light. And may your heart, the same heart that has known pain yet never lost faith, shine forever with the fire of love through these next 20 years and beyond. Because you deserve it, Aries, not just to live, but to shine.